I'm Mike Sullivan. Okay, golf season is just getting underway. It's Masters week. Everyone's excited to be on the golf course, and the one big thing people want to do is they know that they need to get off the tee. So in this video, we're going to talk about a couple things that you can do to help stop slicing your driver and help you get off the tee and into the fairway.
Toma.
Okay, happy Masters week. I know sometimes we don't want to talk about when this video is being recorded in time because we want it to be timeless and all that other stuff, but there's only one Masters a year, and this is Masters week. It's 2019. Today's Thursday morning. By the way, we're filming this about 8:19, 8:20 in the morning, and because of the way the sun is, if we would have been back on the range, back near the golf studio, the sun would be directly in the camera. So I walked all the way to the back of the range just so you'd be able to get hopefully a better view of what we're doing here. So, boy, the things I do for you, right? Also, one other little tidbit is you may have noticed we have a lot of drone videos in our videos here. Well, last week I filmed a little shot of me hitting some pitch shots, and I was trying to maneuver the drone to get a look at Cookie the dog, and I backed it right into a post, and boom. So the drone is out of commission right now, and hopefully we can get it fixed soon. So any drone shots that you see are going to be recycled drone footage. So all right, let's talk about getting off the tee. Let's talk about getting rid of the slice. And boy, if you've been playing this game for a little while, or even if you hadn't and you're just kind of getting new to it, you may have heard of the term of being over the top. Oh, I'm over the top, I'm slicing. Oh, first of all, what is over the top? So the term of being over the top is just one where when you see a golfer start their downswing, their hands look like they're moving out towards the ball. They say they're going over the top, and it's basically, if you look at the position of your hands in your backswing, if you go over the top of the previous plane, that gets the club going outside the target line, coming across, and you hit a big old slice. So it looks kind of like this. I'm going to take a little bit of steam off of this because I didn't quite walk all the way to the back of the range, and who knows who's up there, right? So this is going to be a gentle swing, but it is going to be an over-the-top slice type of a swing. First swing of the day, by the way. Here we go. Okay, so that ball started left and is cutting a little bit to the right. So that particular shot, for a lot of golfers, that actually wouldn't be a big disaster shot because the ball ended up somewhat straight. So that would be kind of fortunate, but the ball definitely had some of this slice spin to it. So what goes on with people is, in a lot of cases, most cases, people tend to grip the club with what we call a weak grip, which means they put their hand on the club with their thumb straight down the grip here, and they don't have a lot of ability to get any rotation of the club face any more square than it is. It's hard to get the club closing at all. And you may think, well, what do you care? You just want the club face to be square at impact. Well, yes. But what does happen is when we strike our shots and we move our weight forward, it's real easy to get the handle leaning a little bit forward, and then the club face actually wants to be open. All right, so when you look at golfers who slice, number one is they tend to have a grip when they look down at their top hand here. So for me, it's my left hand because I'm a right-handed golfer. The V between their thumb and their forefinger, it points like up here towards their chin. People hit the ball straight or hit the ball with more of a draw type of a ball flight, they tend to grip the club a little stronger where the V between our thumb and our forefinger points at our back shoulder. So the first thing is, if you're slicing, take a look at that grip. Okay, you very may well have a grip that goes on the club so that if you make a perfect swing, the ball's always going to go for a right-handed golfer off to the right a little bit. So check the grip, number one. Okay, now let's talk about what this over-the-top thing is, all right? So one of the problems is perception of what people think they're doing. If you look at this move of getting the club coming the wrong way, which is over the top, forget about my hands for a second and take a look at my shoulders. See that? Now let's think about the way that our shoulders are supposed to turn, like as far as anatomy goes. Our shoulders should be going this way, right? That makes sense anatomically. And if I get into a golf stance and I tilt a little bit because my right hand is lower than my left on the club, they would work kind of this way. So when I switch angles so you can see relative to the target line, right? My shoulders should be working like this. If I was going to throw a ball sidearm, it would go like this. Or underhand, however you want to call that. It wouldn't do this. We wouldn't be doing this stuff. But that's precisely the way that people swing the club when they slice. Boy, and to make things confusing, that one actually went just left to left. So by the way, if you do slice, I'll bet you sometimes you miss that ball just straight left too, and that's crazy. So you expect to miss it right, you line up a little left, you hit it either further to the left. By the way, there's balls everywhere out here. I didn't even need to bring my bucket, right? Okay, so this whole thing is really what that out to in swing path comes from. And what's interesting is, a few years ago, we did a video. I'll see if I can put a little link in the description if I can find it. But in the video, I talked about in your backswing, you know, you turn back, trying to feel like you keep your back turned to the target a longer time as you get the downswing started. So see how that is going to help our shoulders work more the way that they're designed? Right, the way we're going to go this way. And that way the club swings more around my body out onto the target line before it comes through and finishes. So that over the top move, it's the shoulders doing the wrong thing. So one little tip, try it for sure. Hit some little shots, just little ones, don't kill it, where you feel like your back is turned to the target longer as you start your downswing. Let's see what that looks like. Look. So that one, the ball actually started here to the right because I definitely caught it with a swing path coming more from the inside. All right. Hope this is making some sense. So that's one thing just to understand is in order to stop coming over the top, we got to understand what the over the top is. All right. It's not just your hands doing that. It's that your shoulders are working incorrectly. All right, so I want to show you another little drill too that's going to help out with that. So here's what we want to do. Take our setup. I'm going to choke down the club a little bit so I get a sense of where the butt end of the club is. Okay. I'm going to take a backswing and I'm just going to feel the butt end of the club work straight down towards my toes. I just want to feel a little bit of that before I turn through. Okay, when we take the club back, watch my hands. They do come like underneath my shoulders and they work kind of upwards, right? Somewhere in here. By the way, whenever even I think about it, I end up doing a little bit different, get self-conscious, right? So my hands are coming underneath my shoulders. They're coming up here. Well, on my downswing, wouldn't they come down here too? This way, instead of, by the way, if you're trying to fix that over the top, instead of trying to do this stuff, throwing the club out at the ball. Because if I throw my hands out towards the ball, that was an extreme exaggeration, I missed it, but you're kind of setting yourself up for that. So if you try to correct this by throwing your hands away from you, you're going to end up with your club head going to be farther from the ball. You're going to make some sort of crazy compensation to get back on the ball. You're not going to hit it that great, which you may be experiencing already. Okay, so let's think about, again, I like to choke down a little bit to get a sense of the butt end. Let's just get that thing straight under your shoulders so it comes up and feel it come straight down. My shoulders aren't unwinding it. I'm just getting the feel, and it feels like my downswing is starting with my hands dropping straight down, keeping my back turned to the target longer. Nice little swing here. So that ball looked to me to be almost perfectly straight because my club face was square at impact and the swing path while I hit the ball was moving towards the target line. All right, I want to show you a really simple drill you can do to help you get a feel for swinging the club on the right path with that right arc. And a week, was it 1 week ago? 2 weeks ago, we had Kevin out and we were hitting some wedge shots with one hand. Well, you can do this with your driver also. And what we want to do as we hit these balls is think about what that club is doing in its arc. All right? And when you hit a shot with one hand, I want you to evaluate what happened there. So that was like a grounder, so I kind of caught the ball a little bit too much on the upswing. So the ball had topspin and went straight on the ground. Now as I do this with one hand, I'm trying to feel how my little weight transfer is working. So I'm timing this swing with how I transfer my weight. I'm also getting a sense for, am I able to swing this club on an arc, creating some nice momentum and centripetal force, that it's actually a swing. Let's try it again. That was really good. Okay, that was a good little shot. So if you can't grab your driver, boy, I hate to say it like this, I don't mean it to sound like mean or anything, but if you can't make that little swing with your driver and hit a decent shot, how do you expect to put both hands on it, make a full turn, swinging at 90 or 100 miles an hour and hit a good shot? Also, what's happening when I go one-handed? If I do something kind of crazy, right? So when I turn back, this is pretty easy to make this little swing here, but at some point the club head is going to have to hinge. I want a hinge that allows my club to stay relatively on the same arc that's going to give us a nice simple swing, right? So if I was going to hit a ball teed up here, it would look kind of like this, right? Is this making sense? So think about how many golfers you see when they go down to this position, their club is going to do something like this. Like they're fighting momentum, they're doing all this weird stuff when they try to get back to the ball. It's got to be a simple arc, and if you go one-handed like this, you're not going to be able to hit any sort of a decent shot unless you make a simple arc with it. And you're going to feel when it's off kilter. So we're going to do an off kilter one. Like that was pretty obvious, right? But believe it or not, there's a lot of golf swings that kind of look like that when golfers get bent down this way. All right, so again, make a practice swing. So not only do I want to have a nice swing, letting momentum kind of help me figure out where this club is supposed to be, I have to get a sense of timing so that I transfer my weight in a way that's going to help me have it all match up down at the bottom at impact. That was another really good one. All right, so I would recommend, spending some time on this stuff. Hey, by the way, little anecdotal information. I had a lesson with a guy last night. His name is Larry. Larry, thanks for coming out. He hasn't been out all winter, so it's April. He hasn't been here to see me since September or October, something like that. He was better last night than he was last time I saw him because he was practicing. So good job, Larry. You're not going to become more skillful without practice, by the way. You got to practice. Okay, let's try with two hands, see what happens. Don't think too much, just recreate the feeling. I'm not going to kill it because I don't want to hit it into my building. Uh-oh. Too much. Oh boy. Did you hear that? That's not good. I don't even know my own strength. Okay, anyway, to stop slicing, we want to stop the out to in swing path, okay? But it's not a matter of the hands, it's getting the shoulders to work better, all right? So feel like you're keeping that back turn to the target longer and you're starting a little bit more with your hands coming straight down. And then the other thing is tee up a ball, one hand, little driver swings to help you get a feel for what the correct arc is, how to use momentum to your advantage, and how to time your weight transfer with impact to help you get a really good sense of the club and the ball. A little bit of practice does go a long way. I hope that helps. See you next time. Did you hear a noise?
I did. Is your drone working?
No, it's in the shop. I broke it. But you heard the noise?
Yes.
So that was my golf ball.
That's why I was asking if your drone was working or not.
Where did it hit?
On the roof.
Holy smokes. Wow.